If I said to you, today we're going to talk about the mysteries of the pyramids, space travel, UFOs, the paranormal, some of you would be completely into it, like, yes, let's finally talk about that. And others would fall asleep. As a teacher, I've been a teacher for 24 years, both in high school, and I've taught college part-time for 22 years now. And I've noticed that sometimes when I'm into something, and I could be 100% all in, others just aren't. And I used to think, well, maybe I'm doing something wrong. But then I learned something a long time ago, that people learn and behave totally different depending on how their brain is wired. And I want to teach this to you. It has to do with 4 different types of profiles. I suppose you could call it profile personalities or learning styles or whatever it is. But there are 4 colors that I'm going to use to demonstrate this. And this is pretty much exactly how I learned it when I was taking my master's classes for my master's degree. And I remember the teacher brought this test out. I think it was a Friday. It was a million years ago. And we had to take this test. And they said, if you take this test seriously, you will learn a lot about yourself. And I've always been a student of, why people do the things they do and trying to understand why people do what they do. So I took this test very seriously, and it took about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And there was 150 questions on it or something, all multiple choice. And I took it, and that was it. Friday was over. I went home. And the next day I came back on a Monday, and the teacher came in with the results of this test and said that somebody had scored dominantly one color, and it turned out to be me. And I've always thought of myself as someone who is a little bit different than everybody else. And apparently on these 4 colors, there's 4 colors to this. There's green and yellow and blue and orange, and they're laid out in a grid. And over the course of the next 4 videos, I want to share this with you, and I want you to think about it, because I think you'll learn a lot about yourself. But anyway, when the teacher came back in, she said somebody actually scored 92% one color, and it turned out to be me. And at first I thought, well, maybe something's wrong, but I just am dominantly one of these colors. I am 92% green on this chart. And most people have a dominant one, but the important thing to remember is you are all 4 colors rolled into one, and there's nothing you can do about it. And very few people are 25% each color, making up 100% total. And I don't have the test anymore, and I've taught this to just about every student I've ever had, and I'm approaching, I'm in the close to 4,000 students now I've taught. And I just think every time I do this, they just gobble it up and they want to know more. So this video here is just a kind of a layout of what it is. And the way you should approach it is to take each color, and I'm going to try to make 4 different videos, 1 for each color. And I just want you to think about it. What is my most dominant color, and what's my second, and what's my third? Because, if you're a yellow person in an orange job, that's probably why you hate it. And if you're treating an orange girl like a blue girl, that's not going to go very well. And so it's just, you will learn why your kids do what they do, the way they do it. If you're a parent, you know that your kids are all different, and it's nothing you did. It's just how their brains are wired. If you work and manage teams of people, you can make a game out of this in your own mind and figuring out, okay, who are my yellow people, who are my orange people, who are my green and blue people, and structure the group based on that. And it works very, very well. And I think you should become a student of this. So the chart is going to be laid out: yellow, orange, blue, and green. And I'll go over each one And again, as you hear these videos that are going to be coming out, and there'll be links to at the end when I get this series done, pointing you in the direction of the next one. So I hope you really like it. This is about as good as anything I've ever learned in my experience, and I want to share it with you guys. So I will talk to you soon.